then there's this. Now, I've heard some stupid stuff in my life. And I know that Aaron Rodgers is controversial. But do you think there's any way that Aaron Rodgers kept the Pittsburgh Steelers from drafting Shedeur?
He was only going to get drafted to be a backup. And we know this from Kaepernick, from Tebow. Nobody wants the most high-profile player on the team to be the backup quarterback. Nobody wants a lightning rod, polarizing backup quarterback. And I got to tell you, Dan, no, I have no proof of this. I'm convinced that Aaron Rodgers told the Steelers, hey, I'm coming. I'll play for you, but don't take the Sanders kid. Because Aaron doesn't want to deal with that. Aaron doesn't want the first time he has a bad game, people calling for the Steelers to put Shedeur Sanders in.
Again, Ross Tucker, okay. This is one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. That Aaron Rodgers told the Steelers, don't draft Shedeur Sanders. If I'm Aaron Rodgers, do I want a highly touted rookie behind me? Probably not. Am I calling the Steelers and being like, if you draft Shedeur Sanders, I won't play there? No. Do you believe there's any truth to that?
Not an ounce. Not even a sliver. And, you know, I think that it's incredible. I mean, Shedeur Sanders has single-handedly become, you know, one of the most polarizing, influential, talked about like dudes. And it's really nothing to do with him. I mean, honest to God, if you look at it, we're now talking about Aaron Rodgers told teams not to draft him. Owners told their GMs not to draft him. Like this guy said this to that guy. Like it's incredible to me that Colin Kaepernick and Shedeur Sanders are now in the same conversation. Like, with all due respect to Ross Tucker, we got to be better than this. Like, this is incredible to me that we've graduated now to people are on one hand saying this kid sucks, but now Aaron Rodgers is scared to play on the same team with him because he's going to back him up and come in now. But wait, I thought he sucked. I thought Shedeur couldn't play. I thought that he was terrible and it was just daddy ball. So why would Aaron Rodgers be scared of a kid who has no talent and can't play?
And you comparing him to Tim Tebow.
Like, what do you mean? Like,
it's crazy. Why is Shedeur Sanders so controversial?
Because of his dad. That's why. It's not because of him. And I will forever die on this hill. I think that people are so damn scared of a black kid who is confident and talented and good at what he does. The guy is as good as any quarterback in this draft, and you're scared of him because of his dad. Like,
then there is the RG3 thing, which is wild. RG3 says, I'm being told some NFL head coaches feared drafting Shedeur in the first round as a starter. It's not working out, and then eventually being replaced by Deion Sanders as the head coach. That's weak and cowardly. Cost this man $40 million.
So wait, let me get this right. So now we've got Ross Tucker saying Aaron Rodgers is scared of Shedeur. We've got RG3 saying that allegedly head coaches are scared to draft Shedeur because they don't want to be replaced by his dad when their team sucks. So this is my point. And this is my point to all the haters yesterday. Bro, you guys are all so scared of this kid.
Yes.
Because you know the truth. And the truth is, this kid's really good. This kid's going to play in the NFL for a long time. And the moment that this kid gets a chance to play in the NFL, he is never letting that go.
And I think this right here, that Shedeur's jersey is now by a wide margin the number one selling jersey out of the NFL draft.
You think that's an accident, bro?
I think it scares people because I think it shows how much support Shedeur has. The problem is I don't think Shedeur will ever be defined by his play on the field. He's put himself in a position where he's a lightning rod. And the stories about how poorly he interviewed, that he doesn't have an agent and he mishandled the pre-draft, the pre-combine and pre-draft process. Huge mistake by him. Because I think that is going to forever define him. And I don't think Cleveland's an easy place for a quarterback to succeed. I think if you're Joe Flacco, and obviously you're different than Aaron Rodgers, but if you're Joe Flacco, you probably will be hearing Shedeur's footsteps.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think Cleveland fans are ready never to talk about Deshaun Watson again. I think they want to talk about Shedeur Sanders and not washcloth guy.
And the crazy part is Joe Flacco's never run from this dynamic. And the funny thing is if you look at the history of the NFL, the guys who don't run from it and they embrace it and they say, hey, yeah, I am the veteran. You know, this is my team right now, but I can also help my team by developing the young guy just in case I get hurt. Like,
let me show you how to do this.
Like how have we as I guess like sports culture, like people that follow sports or these guys that are involved in the NFL firsthand, why are we so scared? Like what are you running from? Like what are you honestly, like are we being serious right now with this report? Like I'm not saying it's entirely true, but the fact that this dude's tweeting about it tells me that somebody told him this. You're telling me he's just making this up entirely. That this is a complete lie and just a facade.
I don't know.
I don't buy that that's just a complete lie. I think that there is some truth to it. And as far as Ross Tucker is concerned, if you're Aaron Rodgers and you're scared of Shedeur Sanders, you should just retire now.
But if you're a head coach and you're worried that Deion's going to take your job,
retire.
Because Shedeur is on your roster, you're not a very good head coach.
No, you're not. You're not.
That's what this tells me.
And I think to that point, you're worried about the wrong things. Like Shedeur Sanders should be treated just like any other kid, any other young draft pick, any other young quarterback. You better work your ass off, dude. You better be here before everyone and be here after everyone leaves. You better be first in, last out, earning your reps, lifting weights, staying after practice, all of it. And to this point, Shedeur has been doing that. Shedeur has been involved in the community. So your biggest fear shouldn't be that daddy ball is going to come in when the team sucks. Your biggest fear should be that you're going to look like an idiot when this kid inevitably gets a chance and takes over the NFL. Because I'm telling you, there is a good chance that that's going to happen. Shedeur Sanders has a better opportunity to do that in Cleveland than Cam Ward does in Tennessee. You guys understand that, right? Like, there's better opportunity in Cleveland right now. The setup's better. There's more talent. It came out today that Cleveland and the Chicago Bears are trying to sign Nick Chubb and get him back in the fold. Like people are trying to get better, and I just don't understand why everyone is shaking in their boots over Deion Sanders. The guy's not even in the NFL, and you're scared of this dude. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't know. Delaric, do I think Rodgers did that? No, but I would not be surprised if he did do that. Okay, well, that's a different discussion. Is Aaron capable of that? Sure he is. Sure he is. Stadium guy James and slurper of Jake. Jake is spot on about Shedeur Sanderson. Preach it, bro. I'm not.
Who the hell is Shedeur Sanderson?
Huh.
Whatever.
Interesting. That awkward guy, Jake, you can't say that when 90% of the kids drafted were confident black kids that were good at their position. No. No, they were not on Shedeur's level. Shedeur was out there. Shedeur has a Lamborghini. Shedeur's got a shoe deal. Shedeur's got the watch. Shedeur's got
swag for days, dude.
And none of those other kids are Deion Sanders' son. And I don't think there's any doubt that race played a factor in it.
They are scared of this kid. They are scared of
I would agree
of this kid, because notice what we don't do in the NFL. Notice the successful white quarterback who flaunts his wealth, who is on Instagram showing you his cars and his 50-acre ranch with his horses and his dad's hunting collection. You understand how valuable that hunting collection is with Quinn Ewer's dad? You guys understand that? Like how much money that is?
And yet we're complaining that Deion and his kids go fishing.
Like, come on, bro. Like nobody complained that Jackson Dart was out here killing animals before the draft and bragging about
He's
it.
unprofessional.
Like, nobody was saying that.
Come on.
But then dude's out here with his chain and, his car and hanging out. And we're saying that not only is he not a good person, allegedly by some reports, according to the NFL people, but that you're not going to sign him because you're scared his dad's going to come in.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are ridiculous, dude. It's honest to God, it's borderline embarrassing how they've treated Shedeur in this draft.
I would agree. That awkward guy, it's not a race thing, it's a circus thing, and it's the media's fault.
Now it's the media's fault. Okay.
So the media shouldn't cover it. Then what's the media's job? Not everything's the media's fault.
Listen. I will give credence that I do think Shedeur Sanders probably played the wrong game in this draft.
I would agree.
I think that Shedeur Sanders went into some of those interviews and rubbed some people the wrong way. I do think there is some credence to that.
First of all, the revelation that he doesn't have an agent, dude,
is wild.
You cannot. Your agent doesn't negotiate your contracts, and that's his only job. His job is to make sure that you're ready, prepare you for the interviews, make sure you're working out, get you the right coaches in the right places.
He's giving you the answer to the test.
Working on the right things. You can't do what Shedeur did in the pre-draft and combine interviews. Big Daddy Magic. I thought the 49ers should have taken him the last pick day 2 to put the pressure on Purdy. I think a lot of people said that. I think a lot of people want Purdy to show you that he's more than a system guy. And whether that's fair or unfair, I think it is what it is, right? That's the public perception. I think the Rams should have used a second or third pick and let him sit behind Stafford for 2 years. Well, I think it'd be 1 year because Stafford, I think this is it. Joseph Harper, if Shedeur puts up 28 and your D gives up 31, you're getting canned no matter what. I would agree with that.
That's what I mean. Like this assertion that so Shedeur's on the roster, but your team is awful, so you're scared Deion's going to come in? Like, no, dude, you should be scared that your team sucks and you're going to get fired regardless of who comes in behind you.
Put your energy into not sucking.
Yeah. Like, has nothing to do with Shedeur Sanders.
Jeff Woodworth, back of the washcloth calculations. That's what it sounds like.
Exactly, dude.
It's what it sounds like.
Like, I honestly feel like a lot of people in the NFL are just using Shedeur and his success as a cover for not drafting another quarterback or not doing whatever they don't want to do. Yeah. Like, that's ridiculous.
Stadium guy James, I'm hoping that he struggles in Cleveland so in 2 or 3 years the Browns trade him and the Chiefs can pick him up as a guy who succeeds Mahomes. He can learn from Mahomes for 2 years, then take over. So you only want Patrick Mahomes to be the quarterback of the Chiefs, because if Shedeur struggles, he'll be cut after this season. You're telling me that you want Shedeur to be not good in Cleveland and then go to Kansas City and replace Patrick Mahomes for the scumbag Kansas City Chiefs, even though you're a Dallas Cowboy fan. Fairly interesting.
Apparently.
Fairly interesting. Patrick Reibel, Flacco is today's Testaverde or DeBerg. There's something to that, certainly. Here's my biggest writer worry with Shedeur. He's scrawny like Jaden Daniels. No. Jaden, they're approximately the same weight. I think they're both about 210 pounds. But Jaden Daniels is like 6'4.5". He is tall and lanky. Shedeur's got that booty. He's got a trunk. And he's got legs, thighs, glutes.
And you're comparing him to Jaden, who just had one of the best rookie seasons in the NFL. Like,
I think he's comparing him physically. But
my point is if you're comparing him, what do you mean you're worried when this cat just came out here and played the whole season and was fine? Like, what do you mean?
Let's see what year 2 looks like. I think, guys like Caleb and Jaden are going to have to prove they can redo in year 2 what they did in year 1. And I think that's going to be remarkably difficult for either of them to accomplish. Although with the Bears, it's shocking, but the Bears actually put a massive influx of capital into a support system. So we'll see. Bryce, that requires NFL quarterbacks to be selfless and not egomaniacs. Ain't that the truth? Boyd Lake, just like every college quarterback, Shedeur will need to adapt to the NFL timing. All I know is BYU and Jay Hill shut him down. Well, you were also talking about a bowl game. And yeah, I think bowl games are,
Yeah.
People don't like people who have daddy issues. Who's got a daddy issue? What do you mean by that? That awkward guy. Cleveland is always going to be Cleveland. Yes, they will. Nick's Chubb. Nice one, Jake. That's
You're welcome.
mine.
You're welcome.
I'm the one who came
That's a
up with Nick's
Montyism.
Chubb.
That's
Come
a
on.
Montyism.
Jeremiah Champion, afternoon to you, sir. Good to see you as always. Once you use the race card, you automatically lose. It's okay. So you don't think race played any role in the belief systems that were put out on Shedeur Sanders? Because remember, he celebrated too much. He was too flashy. All of the Deion stuff.
Why wasn't Jackson Dart getting a bunch of flack for his private jet deals and his car deals and everything he was doing?
Because they weren't winning and they weren't on national TV like Colorado was. And your dad's not Deion Sanders. And at no time has Deion said that, he's going to go and coach wherever Shedeur gets drafted. Like the hate around this and the idea that race played no role in the beliefs that were formed around Shedeur Sanders is wild to me. It's crazy. At this rate, Shedeur might win a Super Bowl before Monty stops coughing. This is true.
True. Yeah.
I would take that bet. The agent makes you look good all the time.
Yeah,
Seriously.
the agent is the guy who gives you the answers to the test and the process. So he tells you what to expect and puts you in a position to succeed. And I completely agree. Not having an agent is silly. Like, I don't know what you're doing.
Jake might be proof that genetics and nepotism have a downside, but Shedeur is in proof of that. True. That was a nepotism. You're only here because you. Okay. That awkward guy. I was honestly super surprised Jerry Jones didn't draft him. I think Jerry's got far bigger issues than Dak's backup. I mean, their cap is so tight in Dallas.
Yeah.
And I don't know. And I think they had a
rough.
good draft. I think they had a really good draft.
Yeah.
If we're being honest. The only good to come out of Cleveland is the Drew Carey show. You mean Price is Right? Because he's the host of Price is You guys remember when the Drew Carey show came out, how wildly popular it was? Like, I can't remember the name of the sketch comedy show he was on. Oh, my God. Whose line is it anyways? I think it was. Drew Carey's so wildly talented. The Kansas City Chiefs are double-decker scumbags, and I hate everything about the Kansas City Chiefs. The barbecue and terrible traffic. I totally agree with that.